Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Latlin, and today we're taking a look at Path of Exile. Now, this game just recently went into open beta, so I highly recommend you go and check it out. But, yeah, let's jump right in. Now, talk a little bit about Path of Exile. Path of Exile is your typical, not typical at all actually, is your like Diablo Torchlight style, I think it was referred to as an ARPG, action RPG, but it is a ton of fun. If I recall correctly, it was developed by the original creators of Diablo 2, or original developers of Diablo 2 rather, and I have to say this game is amazing. It's a ton of fun. The customization is ridiculous. Character customization, there is none. As far as making yourself look different, like basically you can't change what you look like. Just like in any other, just like in Diablo, and I believe Torchlight had some character customization, but for the most part, not really. As far as like looks and stuff go. But I've been playing a little bit, as you can see. This particular game, normally I jump into these first looks blind, just because I want to get like an unbiased opinion, like really see it for what it is as someone going and playing it for the first time. But with this game, I really couldn't do that because of the fact that this game is very intricate, very detailed. There's a lot to it, and I'll get into that soon. So first things first, you've got different classes you can choose from. You've got your Templar, you've got your Shadow, you've got your Marauder.
I am a warrior.
You've got your Ranger.
You can't own a life.
You've got your Duelist.
He had it coming.
And even for being in beta, it's pretty polished. Currently, it only goes up to Act 3. But man, there's a lot of content. A lot of content.
They were right to fear me. If only they had listened to their cowardice. Had they not taken my home.
Early on, not so much.
I would not have taken their
tough.
children.
So we're actually going to play. My main currently is a witch, but we're going to go ahead and play the Ranger because I found the Ranger to actually be a lot of fun.
Every soul has a birth-given right to live however they will, however they can. I take from the wilderness, and one day it'll take me in return. Not that the fat lords of Arrive believe in such things. They call me poacher and thief.
I always do Lano with different suffixes. Sometimes it doesn't always work. Sometimes it don't make any sense. But anyway, I'm not going to go too much into the story. I want you guys to kind of figure that stuff out yourself. So as far as like talking to people goes, I'm just going to skip it for now because I want you guys to figure it out on your own. Like I want you guys to jump in and really, see the story because it's pretty good. It's not bad. So anyway, as you can see, typical ARPG, pretty much, click to move, all that fun stuff, and of course QWERT, as you can see down here, controls all your different spells and stuff. When it does launch, it is a free-to-play game. It's going to be completely free-to-play, so there is a microtransaction store that you can get stuff from, like weapon skins and everything like that. As far as I can tell so far, nothing would be considered pay-to-win. Now, when we level up here, I'll show you what really makes this game shine. Like, the combat skills are really cool, as actually you saw there. I picked up a gem, which I can take out. If you've ever played Final Fantasy VII, this will be somewhat familiar, kind of like how materia was in Final Fantasy VII. You'd pick it up and you'd put it in your weapon or gear slots, and you'd be able to use that kind of magic. That's kind of how this works, for the most part. Like you can't use magic abilities and stuff that you don't have equipped into your weapons and stuff. So that part, along with Final Fantasy VII, is very familiar, the materia system. But that's where it ends. That's where it begins and ends. There's all sorts of different types of gems and everything that you can put in here. As you can see, there's blue gems, red, and green. Like green gems are typically your dexterity stuff. Blue gems are like your intellect stuff, like magic spells, like fireball and shit. Red gems are your like strength abilities and things, like your cleaves and stuff like that. Let's level up so I can really show you some crazy shit.
My mana is gone.
Now again, I'm going to reference Final Fantasy in this. If you've ever played Final Fantasy X and remember that system of gaining new abilities, you're going to find this very, very familiar once I level up. And I honestly say it's the best part of the game. It allows for deep character customization. Right now, because it's an open beta, Path of Exile, and there's no real clear-cut, like, best way to build your class type things. Obviously, some are going to work better than others, but currently you can pretty much do whatever you want and be okay for the most part. I will warn you, though, Melee classes are a little bit difficult to get used to. Like, you gotta not be a retard if you're gonna play melee classes. Also, there's a tab map as well if you don't like the mini map up there at the top. And of course, the mini map covers up a little bit of information here, but nothing that's too difficult. Or nothing that you wouldn't otherwise know. So anyway, let's find more guys to kill. Now, this little area right here is like the starting like tutorial area that kind of gets you familiar with the game. So there's not too much going on. And of course, there's the lovely global chat that you can see over here, full of stupidity and retardedness. Occasionally, like that, if you ask questions in the global chat, you typically will get you'll get a good answer. You usually get some help. You get a couple idiots, you know, saying, "Oh, it's Alt F4, lol, I'm funny." But for the most part, if you ask a real question, you'll get a real answer. If you ask a stupid question, you'll get a stupid answer. There we go. Leveled up.
Breathing.
Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this.
That's a good sign.
Oh, after we kill this guy. Okay. Stomp a couple barrels, because, you know, we have to. You can also zoom in all the way and play like this. Though it's kind of hard to play like this. You can't really see what's coming up on you. Graphics are pretty good. Again, it is still beta, so the graphics aren't polished, but it's very smooth. Like, I'm getting 60 FPS while recording, and that's awesome. But then again, currently it doesn't look like that much of a graphically demanding game. It's more of a processor, like it's more of a CPU intensive game. So anyway, as you can see, I leveled up, so I'm going to go to my passive skill tree. Boom. Reminds you of anything? Yeah, Final Fantasy X. Boom! Times 1,000. Now, these little areas over here that you can see, as you can see, mine right here, it has my like face and then the stats that I have, and you can see where all the other classes start. I think the witch starts here. Nope, I think I'm wrong. Well, yeah, I think the witch starts here. No, I'm wrong. Witch doesn't start there. Doesn't matter. Anyway, you just, every time you level up, you can dump points in whatever you want. You can literally build yourself however you want. If you want to be, like, I don't have, even though I'm a ranger, I don't have to use a bow. Like, I could switch to like regular like swords or daggers and stuff like that, and I could even be a tank. I think like I could dual wield daggers and stuff, and I could start dumping points in like shield mastery and everything, and be a ranger tank. I know a friend of mine is actually a melee ranger, and he's like level 40 something, and he was the one who's telling me that melee classes get very difficult at later stages, and I noticed that early stages they're kind of hard too. Not saying it's bad by any means. Melee, from what I've seen, melee classes do way more damage than ranged classes, but the trade-off is that the melee classes are also going to take tons of damage. While they can dish out all that damage, they also take all that damage, unless of course you're actually, you know, good at the game. Unlike me, I'm terrible. So when I was playing around with the melee classes, I was getting my ass kicked. But I definitely see a lot of potential for people that are accustomed to playing those melee classes, that are used to being able to, you know, kite stuff and really understand how to adapt to that ridiculous amounts of damage coming in. The only downside that I can see so far is that you really want to know what spec you're, like what build you're gonna go before you start like with a class. Like, you want to take a decent amount of time and really take a look at the different paths that you can go to, because while you can respec a little bit, you can only respec one point at a time, and the items that you use to respec each point are like random drops. I believe you can get some from selling items and everything. I think, don't quote me on that, but I think you can. I've gotten a couple on my witch, and I've respec'd a couple points here and there, but for the most part, I really don't know what spec I'm going to go. I think with the witch, I'm going to go like a summoner build with, you know, like caster, so I have like kind of a front line, so I don't take too much damage. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to put points in attack, increase attack speed, and we're probably going to keep going that route with the bow, because I feel like it'd be really, really fun to be able to maybe get like ice enchants on my bow, so I do frost damage, so I can slow people and kite people, like Ash from League of Legends. I thought that was a pretty good aim. Like, all right, I know how to play that particular, you know, champion in a different game, so how about I go ahead and see if I can adapt that to this game? And looking through the talent trees and everything and the way that the game functions, that is entirely possible. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get a gigantic enchanted ice arrow that I can shoot across the map and stun people and look like a badass, but at the same time, I will have that kiting ability, and I will eventually get a multi-shot once I pick up a couple new gems after I kill this guy. Boss fights. You can farm them for items. Hells yeah. That's something that we weren't able to experience in the game that shall not be mentioned. Diablo 3.
My mana is gone.
At least not initially. I remember when I first started playing, man. It kind of irritated me that I couldn't farm boss fights. I'm not a hater of Diablo 3 like everybody else. It has its faults, but honestly I feel like people hated Diablo 3 because everyone hated Diablo 3. Like that's... Like no one could ever come up with a real reason why they didn't like Diablo 3 other than what they heard other people say. I was like, yeah, okay. Well, why do you specifically don't like the game? Well, because of this and that and this. I'm like, no. That's why that guy doesn't like this game. Well, why don't you like this game? Yeah. But anyway, moving on. I'm not going on a Diablo 3 rant because who gives a shit down nowadays anyway. But anyway, we killed the boss. We're the best. And if you look over here, I have this little gem and an XP bar. This is where it really... Actually, you know what? Before I start talking about that, let's get into downtown. Loading screens are few and far between, and they're quick, so you don't have to worry about that too much. It is beta, so occasionally you'll get dropped from the game, or an instance will crash, or you'll have problem moving in. Apparently, someone is trying to DDoS. I doubt it, because people are trolls.
Welcome to our...
But anyway, quests, you know, pretty simple. Talk to the people. I love the personalities that these guys have. Like, the voice acting is really good. Like, they really took some time to really make these characters feel alive, even though that they are, you know, just NPCs standing there handing out quests. And as you can see, I can grab new gems. So I can grab a split arrow, dual strike, or cleave. Obviously, I mean, I don't plan on being melee, so I don't want cleave. Same thing with dual strike. I'm using a bow, so dual strike would be silly. So I'm going to grab split arrow and dump that over here. Now, one issue that you most likely find yourself running into is a lack of gem slots. Now, obviously, you can't drop green gems into other slots. All right, let's go ahead and leave global chat. It's normally not so retarded, but it's definitely retarded right now. Oh my goodness! There we go. I global chat. Bam. Fixed. Anyway, moving on. You'll sometimes run into the occasional issue where you don't have enough gem slots for all of your stuff, but that's not too big of a deal. Now, in this episode, or this particular video, I'm not going to go too in depth about. I'm not going to continue too far down to the storyline because I kind of want you guys to figure it out on your own and really see what you can do. But what I am going to go ahead and cover is a couple more things involving like gems and stuff. I don't have any right now, but you can actually get things called support gems that will augment gems that already you already have equipped. Like occasionally, like you see how I have 3 right here, these 3 gems. Occasionally you'll come across items that have these, they're linked, which means that if you have this gem here, you'll have something else that you can dump next to it that will augment that spell. Like for example, my witch has a spell that shoots ice. Like it's I can't remember what it's called, but it shoots like a wave of ice. And I have a lightning gem augmented with it. So basically, it shoots out a wave of ice that also does a lightning damage. So it's real nice. It really allows you to customize your abilities a lot, which allows you to really make each character feel your own. And you have a shared stash. As you can see, I've done quite a bit of work, and I've got all sorts of fun stuff. And here you go. Here's a good example. See how these are linked? Yeah. But I don't have anything I can toss in here currently because all too high level. But soon. But anyway, that's been Path of Exile. Sorry. It's an amazing game, and I highly recommend you go take a look. I'll probably do more videos of these. I'll probably make another video on my witch here in the near future because she's like level 20-ish and she's moving up. So thanks for watching, guys. I've been Landlin. In the description, there'll be a link to go and download the beta. Again, it is an open beta, so if you want to play, go play. Who's holding you back? I don't think I covered this. As you do, I almost completely missed this. I started talking about it, totally forgot. As these gems and abilities that you use stay equipped to your weapons and everything, they level up. Like that's how your abilities and stuff become better, by basically just having them equipped. You don't necessarily have to use them. They just need to be equipped. I don't think you need to use them. Pretty sure you don't need to use them. I think they just need to be there, and they'll level up. And as they level up, they'll pop up over here. Like, let's go kill some stuff so we can level it up. So I can show you guys. Man, I almost completely missed that. Oh, and the map generation is totally random, and you can also reset the map. And if you want to go ahead and like grind through the map again, or whatever area that you're in again, you can reset it. See, how I just leveled up? You hear that ding sound, and then you just click to level up. There you go. Now I have a rank 2 burning arrow. Now, I need more stuff with green gems so I can use my multi-shot, which uses a shit ton of mana, but it's really effective against these dudes. Now, of course, early on, you're not going to be able to do that much damage and shit, just like any other game. But it definitely ramps up very quickly, and the difficulty level ramps up very quickly as well. It goes from pretty easy to, oh my god, I've made a horrible decision. Whenever you run into an area and there's like dudes everywhere, you're just like, oh fuck. But there's all sorts of ways you can get around doing that. Like there's teleport scrolls that send you back to the nearest safe area or safe haven and stuff like that. Just like in the old Diablo games, where like you'd go and fight Diablo, and you just make sure that you have your town portal open just in case shit goes down. Like you always got it open in case you die, so you can just come right back, open up another one immediately. You can do the same thing in this game, which I love. And there's also no currency. There's no real there's no gold currency in this game. As you sell things, you'll notice you'll get pieces. Oh, you got DC'd. It happens. Beta's beta. Let's go ahead and log back in. I can cover the... back on the Ranger. Oh, I have a level 3 Ranger. Well, could have just used that one. No. Log in. There we go. Again, beta's beta, so there are a couple issues here and there. But for the most part, it's very stable. Like, I think I've only been DC'd twice. I think that was the second time I was DC'd. So, definitely good shit there. Control left click, by the way, to fast sell things. But as you can see, as I sell things, I get like shards and fragments for stuff like that. That's basically the currency. Like if you go in here to purchase items, you'll see like this costs 3 scrolls of wisdom. This one costs 1 scroll of wisdom. Scroll of wisdom seem like, see, this costs 7 portal scrolls. Portal scrolls or orb of transportation or transmutation, orb of augmentation. See, there's different currency they can use to buy different stuff. And as you can see, I have orb of transmutation, orb of alteration, and these all do different things to your like you can use, instead of using these as currency, you can use these to change your stuff. Like this will upgrade a normal item into a magic item. So if I was to take this and put it on this, I gotta take it out first. If I was to take this, hit it with this, bam, and there you go, it's been upgraded. Now it's blue. I'm going to do the same thing to this. I'm going to actually, I think I got to take the gem out, so I'm not going to put that. You can also take gems out and put them in. Like, it's not a big deal. You don't get penalized for it or anything. But if you're going to sell something, make sure the gem's not in there. Don't be an idiot. Yeah, as you get more of these shards and everything, you can combine them into the actual orbs, which is awesome. See, I've got more stuff over here. Bear trap, lightning arrow, fireball, power siphon. And you can, as you find these things, you can share them with all your alts. So just because you might find something that's trash, throw it in your stash. You have plenty of room. You have 4 slots, 4 huge pages to store crap. So, go ahead and try and wrap this up again. I am Lanolin. This is Path of Exile. Like I said, in the description will be the link to go and sign up for the beta, download it. I highly recommend you give this game a shot if you're a fan of ARPGs, and really, if you enjoyed Diablo 3 and enjoyed Torchlight 2, but it wasn't quite what you were looking for, you're looking for a little bit more of a real challenge, not a BS challenge like Diablo 3 was at first. Don't get me wrong, it's a much better game now, but initially it was kind of BS. We all know this. Inferno mode, what were you thinking, Blizz? But anyway, continuing. I went through Inferno mode. It was a pain in the ass. It was way more difficult than it needed to be, but I'm not getting into that. I'm trying my best not to get into that, but I slowly am. I've been Lanolin. This has been Path of Exile. I highly recommend you check it out, especially if you like to be able to. If you're a min-maxer like I am, you want to make your own builds. You want to make sure that you do the most damage you possibly can, while at the same time feeling unique. This is definitely the game for you. I highly recommend it. I've been playing the shit out of it since I installed it. And I'll probably be playing the shit out of it some more, along with a few other games. Terra is going to be going free to play here soon as well, so I'll probably be playing that a little bit. And we got DC'd again, but that's okay. Beta is beta. Again, that's the 3rd time since I've been playing. Been DC'd a couple times. Normally, that's not something you really want to show on a video, but it's okay. It's stable. Like, I can log right back in. Like, you'll be right back where you were if you DC. So, finally, in closing, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.